Hi, it's Angie. I'm just coming on this afternoon to show you some vintage embellishments that I've been making. Now my normal camera arm is kind of isn't working, so I'm having to revert to a very small tripod right in front of me. So I'm actually kind of working around my phone like that. The phone's kind of in the middle of the space between my hands, so I've just got to be really careful. So I've been making these over some time because obviously I have to craft quite slowly now and just do a few minutes here and there when I can. So I just thought I'd come on and show you these. So this is the first set that I made. I started off by making I suppose like a masterboard really. What did I use? I used a piece of packaging actually from Amazon. It was you know, sometimes they send packages in like really strong brown paper bags these days. Well, it was a part of that brown paper bag, and it was sort of a flat piece that I got with no creases in, and I covered it first of all with a little bit of this, the Distress Collage Medium by Tim Holtz, and it just gave it like a finish, like a shine as well. And then onto that I just stamped some random sort of marks and things like that in the background. So if you see here, you can see where it's a bit shiny, you can see where I've stamped, you can see where there's a bit of the sheen there. And then what I did was I just laid a bit of, I kept the sheet whole and I laid 7 pieces of tape down on the back in, and I made clusters, and they've all got or nearly all got like birds or nature on them. So I literally just layered up some different bits of papers and things to make the clusters, and then each one of them has 1 in a million stamped on them, so it sort of pulls them all together to make a set. And then I've just stitched down the middle, which was real fun because I ended up, my top thread went, then my bobbin went, and then I ran out of thread completely, so it took me quite a while. It took me about 2 days to do a simple bit of sewing because I had to go and get some more thread. And then I've just put, if you can see this like shine down the middle, that's just a bit of Inca Gold in Old Silver, which is my absolute favourite colour of Inca Golds. So I'll just quickly show you these. It's that one, they're all different sizes. That's a little stamp, that ink blot. There's that one, that's a little bit of like word washi. And there's that one. That one, that actually is a postage stamp. They come on like a roll, like a washi tape roll, it is washi tape, but they're perforated. Can you just see? You just see the perforations around the edge. They're actually like stamps on a roll kind of thing. And that's another one of them there. You might be able to see it better there. That's the B one. Yep. And then I think that's one of the longest ones there. So I thought they looked quite nice all together as a set. Hang on, I've just got this stuck on here. There we go. Right, let's just put these back in here. I've just kept the packaging simple on these. I haven't packaged the other ones up yet because I've only just finished them, but hang on, I'm just literally just putting them back in the bag. Oh, I'm gonna have to do that in a minute. It's too fiddly to do on camera because my hand. Right, so a few weeks ago I made 6 of these banners. So the banners were all the same. So the die I've got cuts out like the outer and then the inner. So they were all out of craft card, and then I chose like a vintage paper to go in the middle, and then I found some word stamps that fitted in, and I used 3 different stamps. So I stamped 2 of each type. So as you can see, these are the With Love, and I've just embossed them in, it's a wow embossing powder, and it's the shiny black. I think it's called, I think it's called Ebony Black, but I could be wrong. You can see that it's shiny rather than just dull. So these two I'm just leaving as they are. I've just done some various different types. So I've done them in twos really. So I say that's those two. And the first two that I did, so the first two that I've done, so they're obviously the same as each other. They're the ones that say just a note. I've used, it's like a torn edge die. It's a, what is it? It's a Gemini die, and I've raised that up on the backing paper, which is, it's a little bit of National Trust paper actually. It's aged really nicely. I've just put a little bit of gelato in the background, and then I've just made this cluster on a garment pin. Actually, that pin's the wrong way around. And I've just used a bit of gold. Oh, hold on, can't do anything fiddly. A bit of gold fabric, a bit of brown like check, and then a bit of the ruler fabric, and I've just put a bit of, I think that was tea dye ink over there, just what was left on my like brush thing. So there's two of those, so they're the same as each other. Then I've done these two, these are the same as each other. Now these are using again a scrap of card, then some scraps of paper that was left. I've got like a little pot of like scraps for vintage stuff, two different backing papers, and then this brown bit here in the middle is actually a bit of the backing paper that was left from those clusters that I just showed you that I'd stitched. It's just like, because obviously when I stitched them all I just ripped around them, so I've got some bits left. So you can see the ink splodges there, just a bit of stamping, so that's all on the paper. So I've just stuck that down to the backing paper, and then I've just put the I'm here for you banners on there, and then I just set like a brass eyelet and just used a bit of this green twine, and I've actually inked that up a little bit as well, so it's not too green, it's got a little bit of like vintage look to it. So that's those two, and then these two are slightly different because they haven't got those words on them. These are the same fancy edged die. So it's card, it's plain white card, then on top of the card there's a piece of, let me just reach, it's this, I suppose the nearest thing you'd call it is deli paper. We had loads of 12 by 12 sheets of these at work, probably about 3 years ago, and it was a wrap that they were only using for over breakfast briefly until the proper wraps came through. And when the proper ones came through, they weren't being used. The ones that we had a few left, a good stack of them left, so they were probably going to just end up throwing them away. So I asked my boss if he could have them, and he said yeah, of course you can. So they're 12 by 12 sheets of this, and I love it. It's like rougher on one side, and then this side, as you can see, is more shiny, and it's got a slight wax feel to it. So obviously it sort of like repels any grease in the wrap. So I say it's a little bit like deli paper, but it's brown. So I've got loads of this and I absolutely love it. So there's actually a layer of that on here, sort of shiny side up. Oh, it's upside down. And then I put it through an embossing pot folder, and I chose the bit with the butterfly. Get the right way up. So I chose the bit with the butterfly. Then I painted, when I'd embossed it, I painted over with some of this rustic patina, which is more of a paint than a wax. It's not really a wax, it is a paint, so you only need a little tiny bit. And you can see it's got like, there you go, that's the details of it. It's got like glitter in it, So it's not, it isn't glittery. It's not like really, like here, it's not glittery. But in some of the, I don't know if it'll pick it up, but in some of the deep bits where there's deep bits of embossing, like here in the wings, like, or spaces between the wings, it kind of collects a little bit, and it just looks, you can see it is actually like glittery. It's hard to explain really. So, oh, it smells so nice. It smells of the gilding wax that I've put on the top. So on the top, it's got a bit of this, the Pearl Moon, and it had actually gone, I've had this ages, and it had actually gone a bit hard, so I just got a bit out, put it on my glass mat, and just worked it with my finger, and it just goes like waxy again. And you only need just a little bit to highlight it. So that's like the highlight that you can see, like the wax highlight. And then over the top of that, I've gone over with, I've been using this quite a lot today. Oops, hang on, everything's rolling around. A bit of that, the Ground Espresso Distress Ink, which most of these embellishments have on the edge. Like all of these have Ground Espresso on the edge. And then what I've done on the back is I've just, again with the applicator, what's left on my brush, I've just gone over the back a little bit, just literally to bring out that lovely butterfly design, because I think it's a shame not to, because it looks so pretty. So yeah, that's, oh, and I've just then gone round, I put a word on it, and I've just gone round with my white pen, just in little areas sort of around the edges, just to pick it out. And it just picks out that butterfly just that little bit more from the painted background. Just helps to bring it out. So yeah, so that's what I've made so far. And thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.